Hey, good morning, my neighbors. Sorry for the tardy to the party, but we're gonna go ahead and just do a nice little recap. I am sitting on a little bit for my leap challenge that I am in currently. They have me listed in the place of let's see what we got. We got 88 place, but we'll see how that goes throughout today and see if I don't fall back a little bit. But right now, I locked in like 68 ticks on this challenge, and I just need to do my rundown for y'all because I am tardy. I do apologize. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way you can know when I am online, like when I'm late as well. Let's go ahead and just take a look. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and break down is NQ. So you can see with yesterday, it is, all right, go ahead. And it is one of the weirdest things in itself because you got the whole entire consolidation that's happening right here on this base. So I want to see what they're going to do with that information. Are they going to go ahead and really push this? We've been trending this whole entire time. Are they really going to leave this gap down here? Are we going to go ahead and make new highs? Like, this is going to be very fun to see how this goes and plan out for the rest of the week. All right, the next one we're going to talk about, it is oil. Oil is doing this thing a little bit. Like I told y'all before, we got a micro trend. If this thing breaks this pivot right here, which is this one right here, we're probably going to go ahead and readjust this micro trend to down here, which would look something like this. And that's the ride that we're taking until we break into this area. And there should be some type of rejection if it is weak. If it's not weak, we're probably going to go ahead and bust right through it. The next one we're going to talk about, it is gold. And I'm sorry for being, speeding through. I got my class going on at the same time, so I'm giving y'all a solid 10 minutes or so. But yeah, we got a nice little uh, break right here, and this has been that solid break that I told y'all about yesterday. I'm very curious if we can make this a strong one by the end of Friday, because if we get a lot of top shadow, top wick, we're going to think there's a lot of selling off that's happening. So that is going to be very interesting. So keep an eye on that. Don't forget to chart your silver. Silver looks like it wants to take out this high. If it takes out this high, it's going to drag gold right on up to that upside because it should be taking out their pivots and their highs. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then another one, it is this is the British pound. The British pound looks like it's trying to make its move to the upside. And it looks like I got to go back and check out my NQ. Looks like they pulled back. It probably hit my stop, but that's okay. We're getting a lot of bullish momentum over here, and that's the bullish momentum we want to look at to kind of see ourselves kind of continue to that upside. So if we can get this here to hold, maybe even hold this level, that's going to put pressure on the dollar and make the market rally even further. All right, this is your ES. Your ES is looking like it's trying to take out this previous week wick, and you can see with NQ it's a little bit like that, but then there's a little bit of nuance here. This could be a nice little sell-off compared, but ES on the other hand, it probably could just go right into this area, retake this area, then get a little bit of sell-off. So we'll see how that responds there. Now this is the Russell. The Russell looks like it's trying to find a way to break out of its bear flag action that's over here on this weekly. If we can get a nice little break above this area here and here, then you can get some continuation, as we got a nice little fair value gap that's happening over here on the weekly at 22.19. All right, and the last that we have, it is the infamous dollar. The dollar's putting a lot of shadow wicks at the bottom, which is going to go ahead and put some pressure to the market and make it give ourselves a little bit of a bounce. But again, that was a bullish information that came in on the last bit of news. We got another one that's coming in at 10 o'clock, and you can see right there it says bullish for the dollar. So could this be the catalyst that actually drive us in one direction to the upside on the dollar, which will put pressure on the market to come down? I think we do need a little bit of reprieve after making some major moves, so that could be the case. All right, let's get this out the way, and then we'll go ahead and check out some charts. Look at that rejection. Oh man, get out the way. Go over there. Bye bye. All right, look at that rejection. Nice little strong rejection there. Actually, you know what? I did have ES also on this side. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Let me put you right here. And ES, MNQ. My MNQ is probably getting his butt whipped a little bit. Let me go ahead and log into there. Let's see what's happening with that one. I had over 300 ticks on my MNQ. My NQ was more of a newer entry, so that's why it was a little bit of a tighter stop. And you can kind of see they kind of grabbed that money and they hit multiple stops here. Very interesting. ES, this is a MES. I think I'm going to hold on to this just a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and look at this 15-minute real quick. Yeah, probably going to hold on to it just a little bit longer. See how this 15-minute reacts. I like what's going on with this MACD here. This one right here, we're just sitting in our opening range. Looks like our 2-minute. And looks like they're back inside of this one here in the middle of their opening range. And then Strange Danger is right here in this area. If you want to be part of my class, don't forget to hit me in a DM on Instagram, and I'll break down a lot of the stuff that kind of gave us these ticks. And we'll go from there. Come on, break back above. All right, let's go run through some tickers. I'm going to go ahead and expand this back out. Tesla. Tesla's trying to do its thing. I do think it can get above 350, but we're getting a little bit of a sell-off here, which is probably just more of a pullback in itself. Amazon. Let's see. Amazon, it looks like we're getting a little bit of a wedge more into this. This is very tight, very compressed, and I feel like they're planning something very, very much on this side. I'm curious of what they're going to do. I think we probably could get all the way to, let me expand this out. We probably could get all the way to about 214, but the thing is with wedges, is this a major move? I would say this is probably the length of the wedge, probably this action here. We're talking about a major move when it makes its decision. It could be there, or it could be there. So a straddle could be really, really cool for an Amazon right now. And it tries to figure itself out. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. Oh, that was another one that we kind of talked about. We talked about Amazon. You know what? Let's not talk about what we talked about. Let's go in the video here, just to kind of stay in tech side, and then I'll probably go ahead and give you some S&P 500 stuff. NVIDIA, it is trying to go ahead and recapture this area. We already broke down the downtrend, so it's going to go ahead and give us a nice little push, especially that push is happening early on this daily. Let's look at this weekly. Weekly is a little overheated. Monthly, the party just started on the monthly. Nice little morning star that happened here, especially after this drop off. Star, boom, take out all that sell side liquidity. I would have loved for it to close above this wick, but it looks like we're not going to get that. And then now they're taking that test. If we can get above this level, it's probably going to go ahead and highlight for everybody to get in. So look out for the price 143.09. That might be the play. All right, let's go ahead and talk about S&P 500. UNH, this thing is getting its butt whipped, and there's a strong possibility this thing might fall out of the 500. It's back to pandemic levels, and of course, you know, they got a lot of controversy that's going on, especially with supposed fraud that's happening, and a lot of junk that's going on. So let's keep that in mind as we are looking. And it looks like we're about to break out this upside again. Hold on, let's go ahead and check out my chart. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't like it. All right, let's go back to the chart. All right, so down, let's see, that's UNH. Actually, let's go to my red list. Not red list, earnings runs. UNH. What we got? Oh, Snow was such a monster of a move. I'm just mad that I didn't buy. Oh, damn, this thing looks like a monthly W2. Jeez on peace. No, that thing looks crazy. It just like its sector partner over here. This is CrowdStrike. After they destroyed the whole entire flight plans for everybody in that July, they've recovered quite nicely. So I feel like this was just some smoke and mirrors, just that way people get better prices. 250 now back to, it's almost 100%. Actually, it spiked to 491. That is crazy. All right. But yeah, this is Snow. I did not look at that thing in the monthly. Now I'm even more upset. All right, so we got Snow at this point. I don't know if it's gonna hold this 211. I did make a play on this on the spread, and I took most of this move after earnings. But we're inside of the gap. They might fill the gap. We're probably going to come up into this area, probably reject that 227, but a nice little move to the upside. Even this looks like a W right there. We broke through the neckline just on this alone. So this is going to be very interesting with Snow. They're trying to sell it off. You can kind of see that, but people are just buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. All right, let me give y'all one more and then we get up out of here. Let's talk about Costco. Costco, it is a ticker that is going to stay above 1,000, and I won't be surprised if they try to protect their shareholders by splitting this down again. No, actually, I take that back. I don't think they ever split. Have they split? Have you ever? I think I might be confusing it with someone else. No, I don't think they ever split. I don't see no splits nowhere here. Let me go out weekly. Maybe I get a better view. Yeah, no splits. 2013. Yeah, this is Costco. Bad boy. Oh, they hit my level on that news. Jerks. Oh, you making me cry a bit. Let's go ahead and see what happened here. Let's go ahead and grab the news, and we'll go ahead and end it there. Let's see. We have ourselves. Oh, come on, refresh. Get there. I knew it. It was gonna be a mixed bag. There's a mixed doggone bag. Look at this. This is now bearish. So we got a green or red folder that is high volatility, and this one's bullish, and this is bearish for the dollar. So AKA confusion. Look for chop and be protective of your position. If you got some profits, you might want to consider locking that in. So go ahead with Costco. It's currently at 1,000. A split would be great because you know what split usually does. When you get a ticker like Google, for example, when they did their split, the first thing that happened is that they pulled back. Nice little pullback. It got into like the 87s, and right now it's doubled its value ever since. So as soon as it broke out at that point, that was a good solid move. So just keep that in mind on that. That said, let me go ahead and tap out here as I go ahead and get back to my class. If you like what you hear so far, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way you can know when I'm on. And that said, I bid you a fine farewell. Y'all have a great day. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.